where I spend 80% of my day. This is where I have all my contacts stored for each of those contacts. So you can separate them out into businesses, individuals. You can even create staff pages. You know, so you do have kind of a breakdown here where you can differentiate the different contacts that you're storing within the software itself. But I'm going to click a business just so I can show exactly, you know, what one of those would look like. So this right here is just the fake business I created. They're a member of my fake organization. This is all their basic information, name, address, phone, website, email. Over down here are all the different employees that work for this particular business. And each of those employees have their own page within my website or within my software. So that way I can store information on not just the business, but also the different contacts that work, you know, for that business. And why that's important is turnover. If you ever have someone that's left, like Dion's Tool Manufacturing, and gone to, you know, a different business that you are wanting to attract as a member, you can always keep that information, the historical data, you know, on that particular individual for, you know, wherever they may land next. The different tabs that associate with this module, like more info, individuals, activity, communication. This communication tab is where you store the complete history, all the interactions with this member. So anytime your staff is having any type of a conversation, phone conversation, interaction at an event, or just bumped into at the grocery store, they come in here and log a note of that interaction. So like whether it was a cold call, just an in-person visit, they can put exactly who from this association that they were, or business that they were talking to, and then they can put the note in here. So that way everyone can access this and see all that interaction. Any emails that are sent to this particular business or individual are recorded in here as well. So here you can see it was a one-on-one email. This was part of an automated generated email. So if it was like a bulk email that went out, like a newsletter or something of that nature, they can see that in here as well. For your email, do you guys use Outlook or Gmail or anything like that? Okay. Well, the emails can be sent inside our software. So if you wanted to email a particular individual or a business, you could just select send email. And then you can send the emails directly through the software. You can store different templates. So if you are have different templates that you want to, you know, select, say like some sort of a monthly thing that you send out or whatever you can think of, whatever you need, you can do that in here as well. But you get delivery stats for all those emails. So when an email is sent, you can see how many times it's been opened or if it was never opened. If you have any type of link in there, if that's been accessed as well. So it has all that, all those delivery, you know, statistics are provided to you. We integrate with Outlook and Gmail. So if you have someone that's using Outlook or Gmail, they can, I prefer Outlook myself. So when I'm emailing, I just click on the person, my Outlook opens up and I can send my email through Outlook. I just have an archive address that I drop in the BCC field. So anytime I'm emailing outside our software, I just put that right there in the BCC field. And now this email is recorded underneath that communications tab, and it will give me those delivery stats, even though I didn't send it from inside our software. So that's one of the, in that case, so what happens is if you try to email, so if that email is not saved for an individual prospect or a business in our software, you're going to get an email sent back to you that's going to say not recognized. And then you can match it up. So like if you, like if I sent to scott.robertson@growstone.com and that email was not associated, I would get an email back to me and said, you have tried to archive to an address that does not exist in the software. Would you like to associate? So then I can click and go in and pick what business. So like if it's an email that I don't have saved before, I could choose Dion Stool Manufacturing, and then it will just store it underneath Dion Stool Manufacturing for me. But you know, the idea is to try to always have a contact or a prospect, you know, saved within the software itself. So it will kind of encourage you to do that, and then it will take you to a page that you can create, you know, for that individual contact. Does that make sense? Okay. I wish I had one to show you. I just don't have an example. It's an email that kicks back to you that says unrecognized. But yeah, so it will walk you through that. I'm just going to try to go into my email real quick and see if I had one of those. Either way, if I find one of those, I'll throw up on the screen here for you so you can see it. Also, underneath those tabs is the complete billing history. So anything that that particular individual or member has purchased, whether it be their annual membership dues, any types of sponsorships they've done with you. If you choose to do like an online store, you can see that like they bought a t-shirt. If you do any types of sales at your events, like a split the pot or a raffle or anything of that nature, that can all be, you know, stored underneath this billing section as well. So you just have a complete history of any monies that individual has ever spent with your association. This tasks, oh, sir, go ahead. Yeah, so we're an accounts receivable software, and so you would still use QuickBooks or whatever accounts payable that you're using now currently. But from a receivable standpoint, you would do all your invoicing through our software. So when you sign up for the software, one of the very first steps is we're going to go in here and create all your different membership levels. Do you know how many you have currently? Okay. So, so the different membership levels, whether you have gold levels or, you know, the different ways that you're billing. So I like in my case, I have probably, you know, 20 or some of these created. And then with each one, I've got the cost that's associated with that different, you know, membership type. So when I'm at my contacts, Dion Stool Manufacturing, and I have my memberships up here, these are the different memberships I can choose from. So you know, he's an 11 to 20 employees or he's a gold membership or whatever. So I would just choose which membership, right? And then once I do that, the invoice is automatically created, you know, for that member in our billing module. So once I go into the billing module itself and I go my sales invoices, I can see all outstanding invoices. So you see Dion Stool Manufacturing, you know, and then I can choose to email that as an individual, or if I have a group of these, like right now I have, you know, 30 some odd invoices outstanding, I can do it as a batch email. So I can choose all, have my different templates that I have created, you know, dues invoice, reminder, statement, past due, whatever, and I can send them all as a bulk, or I can do it as a one-on-one, or I can even print off all these invoices. So if I wanted to print these off and physically mail those, I can do that as well. But the invoice is automatically generated as soon as a membership is assigned to a business or an individual. So as you can see here, just for demo purposes, if once he dropped his membership, it would also tell me, you know, he dropped 1 year, 2 months ago. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, so it's all automized. So the second you pick a membership, the invoice is created, and then that would just go into to give you the option of you know, email as an individual or as a batch. Now, the way that this works with your website, all of our modular pages integrate into either a WordPress site that you guys can create yourself, or if you purchase a site through us. This is my demo site, just a site that I created for demo purposes. So video is big right now. Everybody wants to put some sort of video in their homepage, so this allows you to do that. But our modular pages just appear as the header on whatever site you're using. So in this case, I just have a titled directory. You can name it whatever you want, find a member, whatever you want to call that particular directory. And then I choose to do mine primary and secondaries. You can choose to list them all out individually, whatever makes the most sense for you. But what each of your members receive, and I have mine set up in a tiers format. So my silver members appear first. They just get name, address, phone. My gold members appear in front of the silvers. They get logo with their information. And then my platinum gets everything and appears first. But they also get a little miniature website within my site. They could put in about us. They could put links to some big products that they're featuring. They can do breakdown for their employees. They can do job postings. They can offer hot deals, promotions. And the way your members manage this is through their own portal. So they can log in using their username password that we give them. And this is where they can update their information themselves. They can subscribe to different newsletters that you offer. They can register for events, a forum where if you wanted to give your members a way to communicate with each other. So again, I just have everything turned on. You can give or take as much as you want, whatever you wanted to offer to your members, you can. Hot deals is where they can put some sort of a promotion, job posting if they have it, and all that communicates with your main website. So if you allow them to post jobs, that jobs page can appear on your site. They can link within the job, so if they want to put a description and then link to the LinkedIn page or Career Builder page where someone can apply, they could put that in there as well. But again, this is something you don't have to give them access to. If you allow them to put any types of promotions or deals, that's how those show up. And then they can also access that portal through that app that you give to them. So once they download the app, they can access all this information right through their phone. But the biggest thing about our software, not just them paying for their account balances through the portal, but when they register for the events, the system automatically emails them the invoice for you, and then it automatically emails them a ticket to the event in the form of a QR code. And then using the staff app that we give you, you can scan those tickets at the door, and our software will track all of that attendance for you. And the way that works is, once you go into our events module and you have an event that you've created, when you set, all the description, pictures for the event, pricing for the event, this speaks to your online events calendar. So a person can see all the details in an event, and when they click the register, you have all the different ticket options: members rate, non-member rate. You can do early bird discount. You can even do promo codes. So if you have promo codes that you want to provide to your top members, like 50% off promo codes, you can do that as well. But when they try to buy a ticket, they come in here and register, put their name, their email, their company. So all this information is stored for you in your database. And then when they come down here and put in their credit card information, they can also choose to store that credit card. We're PCI compliant, so all your members can put a card on file with us for faster checkout. But all of that is stored in the attendees tab for that particular event. So you can see every one of your members that's registered, if they bought a member rate, non-member rate, if they used a promo code, it will show up. But you see as they're registered, once their ticket gets scanned at the door, the system switches them from registered to attended. So at the end of the event, you can see, we sold 102 tickets, but only 99 of those tickets came back. You would know exactly which tickets didn't return. Pay by invoice. And when they select that, an invoice is emailed to them. And then you have the option of, a person can't register for they can they're not registered till they pay, or you can choose to allow them to their registration account even when they haven't paid. So if you are dealing with only members and you want to do like some sort of honor system, it gives you that option. But if it's a community event and you're allowing non-members to register, you can select it to where their registration only is confirmed after payment. So once they print that invoice and mail their payment in, then they would get their email receipt and their email ticket to the event. So you have that option of setting it up either way. Underneath the attendees. So like in this case, I don't have an example to show you. So like in the case of like Dan Wise, you would see, that they're not paid. And then you would come in here and update the registration, enter the check if they've paid by check. And then I have mine to where everyone is registered regardless of payment. But it would tell you that registered, not paid. And then you would have to apply that check. And then once you go in here and you put in that check number, let me show you this. You enter the check number, the amount, and it's paid in full, then that receipt would automatically be emailed and that ticket would automatically be emailed to that attendee. Yep. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah. That's just how popular our software is. No, so it's real easy. I mean, of course, there's a learning curve. With our software, you get 4 months of onboarding as far as being taught how to use it. And at the end of that 4 months, I mean, you won't be a full expert at how to use it just because it's always changing, evolving. I mean, we're always adding modules and improving things, but you'll be pretty darn close to being an expert at it. And all of this is real easy to do, once you get it down. And we always just say the best way, yeah, we give you that one-on-one training, but the best way to learn it is to just play with it. You can't break it. I mean, we've always challenged people to break it. No one's broke it so far. But just to go in there and create dummy events and because you can create things without making it live on your site. So if you wanted to play around with it and just make fake events, fake invoices, fake members, and just, just learn it from that standpoint, you can get it down pretty quickly. Reporting, you can run a report on anything that you save in this software. And it's because everything that you're saving in the software is saved in fields. So your reporting is just done by fields. So once you've created a report, you can save it, and that report is always saved. You can save as many reports as you want. So at any point, you can just go back and run that same report. So if once you create, like let's say it's a report you're running daily or weekly for your association, it's always, the parameters of that report is saved. So you could just always go in and, if I wanted to run a membership report, and you can select the time frame. So you can do it lifetime or you can do it in the last 10 days. But this is where, fields to display. Drop date, dues paid, join quarter, last paid date, and you can always swap those out. So if you say, oh, you know what, renewal status doesn't matter to me anymore, I can take it off. But then if I wanted to add, oh, okay, I only care about people 6 to 10 employees. So you can just turn on which fields. So it's very easy to modify reports, customers. So even if you change a report you have saved, it's going to keep that report. You can just save it as a new report. Save as new report. And then the other feature that we give as well is if a report's only important to you and no one else, we'll default to sharing the report, so everybody that logs in. But if you have a report that's that you don't want to share with the other staff, you can make it visible to yourself only. Any questions about that? So list and committees, this is where you can create the different, let's say you have your volunteer list, your ambassadors list, your board members, current board members, past board members. You can have as many of these listening committees as you like. And then you assign your contacts to those various listening committees. So like in this case, let's say Dion's Tool Manufacturing is one of my, they're also a board member, but they're on the volunteer committee or whatever. Those listen committees communicate with, do you guys use constant contact at all? Okay, so they're good for like bulk emailing. So you can use our own email services. So if you wanted to pick us, let's say I just wanted to email my new members. So I go in and select my new member listening committees, and then I can have that email go out to just those new members. Or if I just wanted to email my board chairs or my past board chairs or my past golf sponsors or my current golf sponsors or whatever, you can go in and select which listening committee that you want to communicate with. So it just helps you, again, to do any types of bulk emails, whether it's with your prospects or your current members. We do offer an online store. Don't know if you need this for anything, but if you had any products that you wanted to sell on your website, you can come in here and create it. So if you wanted to start selling t-shirts, put a picture of the t-shirt, how many, what quantity you have. You only have 300 of them to sell. Put a description, size, choose different sizes. If you have a large, XL, small, and then all of this communicates with your site as well in the form of an online store. I'm sorry? Yeah. Yeah, so it's something you can add anytime. Sponsors ads is the ability to sell banner ads on all of our pages. Now, you could sell these as additional, non-dues revenue for your association, or what a lot of associations choose to do is they'll use it as an added value for their upper level members. So if you have any type of a platinum sponsorship or any type of like a platinum level membership, they can go in here and, if you put this on, if you join us at the platinum level, you get a banner on all of our pages throughout our site. So these rotating banners can appear on every page, top of the events calendar, top of the jobs page, directory. Every modular page, these banners can appear on. Mm-hmm. Like a blog page? Yeah, yeah. So you would grant access to whichever member. So if you within that portal, let's say I'm a platinum member and I get to post blogs to your site, I would have that option right here. Customize if I'd have that ability to add a new blog to your site. So if you only wanted to give that to that member that is sponsoring your site, yes, and then it would appear as one of the headers on one of our modular pages. And you can even name it them. So let's say, Jim's Tool or whatever is your website sponsor, you can do Jim's Tool entire blog, or you know what I mean, whatever the business name is. Yep, so that is a feature. Fundraising, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this applies, but it's the ability to do any type of like GoFundMe type thing. So if you had a particular cancer drive or whatever, Fund Run for Cancer, Save the Clock Tower, whatever you wanted to do, and then that forms, I've just got it here as donate. You can name it whatever you want. But like this case, Fund Run for Cancer sector, and you put the description, they can come in here, do a dollar amount, they can do a one-time annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, so they can make a contribution to it, and then they just store that credit card information on file for that reoccurring. So I don't know if you're doing anything like that, but that does give you the option through here as well. Form surveys is our version of SurveyMonkey. So you can just create different surveys that you send out to your members. So if you wanted to do a monthly survey or whatever you wanted to do with it, you can go and just create a 15 question, 30 question, 5 question survey. If you wanted to do like an event follow-up survey or anything you can think of, you can create. Right now, do you have a membership application on your website? Yeah, I see a join now. It looks like you have to print it and fill it out. So with ours, you just go in and your membership application, you create the application. You can have different applications that you put on your site. And then it's actually, you can fill it out. So let me go to, so like in this case, I got 2 different applications, but you could have multiple. They come in here and put in their basic information, what level. And then you can go as far as to let them pay for it immediately with credit card, or if you do like an approval process, all submitted applications will show here. I can see the application and then pending approval, and then I can choose if I review, approve, or if I don't want them to be a member, delete membership. But once I approve it, then I can have the system would automatically email the invoice to that member. Congratulations, your application's been approved, attaches your invoice for first year membership. Click here to pay, and then they can put their credit card information in and pay. And or you can do where, you accept payment immediately, and then as soon as they enter their payment information, they become a member of your association. So you have many different options with that. Yep. Yeah, you can get very, very detailed with this, and this is a great example. Let me go to Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce. I think it's them. We do all this for them. Now I don't remember where it is. I was just looking at this the other day, but I'll join. I think they get detailed with theirs. See, I've changed that link. Okay. Not a good example. That link isn't going to our site anymore. Pop over join. I don't know what that is. I have to call them when I get off the phone, let them know that that's not working. But yeah, so you can get very, very detailed as far as what information you need them to complete before they become a member. That's crazy. That just Friday that was working, but it looks like somebody internally changed that link because that's not ours anymore. So websites, I know you mentioned about needing a new site, so let me pull this up here. So we do ours kind of different. We have different themes that you can choose from. One of our more popular is our Vista theme, which allows you to implement video into your homepage, and I have a really great example of this. This Realtor Association did a really good job as far as putting video that matches up with the verbiage for what they're trying to sell. And then we have many different themes you can choose from. So if you didn't like this layout, this Garner Chamber did, theirs a little bit different, their layout, but they still implemented video into their main page there. So with those different themes that we offer, you would go through and pick which theme you like the most. And you can buy the site up front for $3,950, or we do a monthly subscription, $149 a month, and every 30 months you're eligible for a brand new website. So we can build a new site for you every 30 months. So that way, if you're wanting to, keep your look, you know, fresh and whatever is the newest craze. Like right now, everybody's losing their mind over this Vista theme. Whatever is the newest craze 30 months from now, you guys would be able to switch over to it, and you'd be locked in at that same $149 a month. Or, like I said, if you wanted to pay for the brand new site up front, it's $3,950. You do have the option either or. And then for our software, with the two members, you could do, or the two staff, you could do the Essential, Premier, or Pro. So, you know, larger associations that have multiple staff are kind of stuck with doing the Pro or Enterprise. But with you guys having the staff, you could do the Essential $149 a month, which gets you all of the modules that you need to manage your association. But then at the $299 Premier, you can pick 3 of those productivity modules that we were discussing, as far as like the fundraising module, the SurveyMonkey module, the sponsors ads, as far as putting those banners on all the pages, and then the web content like the blog posts, the hot deals, job postings, the online store. So you get to pick 3 of those at that $299. If you say, geez, the only thing we really need is that sponsors ads, you can purchase that separately for $49. So you can do the $149 plus the $49 a month. So you'd be looking at $198 if you went that route. We do not do any types of long-term contracts. Everything is month to month. So literally every month we have to earn your business. But we do require a 30-day notice if you ever decide to leave. And we don't charge you for taking your data out of the site. So you can export it to a CSV. So if you ever choose to leave us for any reason, there's no charge if you remove that data yourself. If you wanted us to do it for you, there is an hourly, you know, fee that we charge for that. But you can do it yourself with no issues and no charges. What stands us apart from our competitors is our customer service. 3 different ways to reach us: email, call. The most popular right now is online chat. 7 a.m., 7 p.m. every day. It's monitored. You can ask any question, get a response in a couple minutes, and not only will they answer the question, but they'll attach a video showing you exactly how to do what you're trying to do. Setup. The good news is, since you're not coming over from an existing where we've got to clean up the data that you're working off Excel, it's going to save you money. I know that's a problem for you now, but it's going to help you with the setup. So you would be, typically it's $2,500, but right now we're running a $19.99 promotion. So for $19.99, we'll take all the data that you currently have, upload it into our site, and then that also pays the 4 months of training. So that's the 120 days of guided onboarding and implementation. That's where they're going to teach you how to use the software. And then the merchant services is $30 a month. And then I'll get you the breakdown as far as the rates for those merchant services. That's how you do the full automation as far as putting credit cards on file. When people pay, they get the receipts emailed to them automatically. They get the tickets with the QR codes, is through that automation with our merchant services. So if you went with the essential package with no extra modules, you'd be looking at $149 plus the $30 a month for the merchant. So it'd be $179, and then the $19.99 setup with training fee. Yeah, yep, $149 or $39.50, depending upon if you wanted to buy the site outright. Yeah, so so $149, yeah, the essentials, $298 plus the 30, so $328 a month, unless you want that Premier route. The new website takes us about 60 days. To be fully up and running in the software, probably 90 days. but we do require the $19.99 to be paid up front. As soon as we get the $19.99, they'll turn on a database for you so you guys can start using it, start storing contacts in it. Another good feature of the staff app that I didn't mention is it scans business cards. So if you're ever out, get a business card, scan it, and then it creates a contact for you in the software. So that way you can go ahead and start using it immediately and start uploading any new contacts into it while we're doing that conversion for you, or that uploading of your current data. And then you can also start doing your billing through it immediately. What was that URL? BWIC? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you're just looking at their events calendar? Is that the page you're on? Okay. Yeah, so that's within the module. Let me go back. Where are you at? Here you are. So in the events module, so this is what their events look like in the module itself. So like they have this competent person fall protection. So they basically just went in and set up all the details, description of the event. This is where they put the pictures, and then they set the costs in there, and then that feeds into the site. I mean, honestly, you can add a new event into the software. I mean, you could do it in 20 minutes, but if you want to really wanted to get detailed with pictures and just go overboard with it, I mean, it could take you an hour. It just depends on how, again, how detailed you want to get with it. But you could truly set up a good-looking event in about 20 minutes, especially if it's a reoccurring event. You know, once you create the event for the first time, if it's any type of an annual thing that you do, or, you know, to just duplicate everything for the next year and just go and change the dates, add some fresh content, now you're talking minutes. Yeah, events are very easy to set up, but then you can get crazy detailed with it. So, you know, once you sign the agreement, we get the initial $19.99. I mean, you could be up and running fully in 90 days because you're going to need your website up and running for those pages to integrate into it. So I would say give it a 90 days, and then you can start posting those events, start selling those tickets, and taking full advantage of the software. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's just a simple. As long as you own that URL, you would just need to be pointed to the new site. So yeah, as long as it's yours, yeah, that can be done. We run into so many people that's bought a site from someone local, and then they find out that that local company actually owns their URL. So yeah, so just as long as you actually own that URL, absolutely we can do that. But if someone else does own that URL, you would have to purchase that from them before we could do that. Well, just from an efficiency standpoint, to have the software doing everything for you instead of, manually like you guys are doing now. It's going to be like adding an entire another staff person, Yeah, I mean, but so I'll put together the proposal, just kind of a recap of everything we discussed and send over to you. Let me see what email I have for you. Is it the Danny S at lumbertradersinc.com? Okay. Yeah, so I'll just do kind of a recap. I'll email over, and so was it the 299 level you wanted me to put the proposal at with those 3 extra modules? Was that okay? And then I'll put so then I'll put the breakdown as far as what modules you can pick from with the explanation of each. So that way it makes it a little bit simpler for you. Like, oh yeah, that's what that was. We want that. We want that. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And my cell number will be on my email. If you ever have any questions, need any help with anything, just give me a buzz. All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.